I studied art at uni, studied visual arts and music actually, and it was a really good balance. Went back to Cornwall after uni and got into gardening. Did that for a few years and then kind of thought, what can I do with my time? Kind of want to go traveling. Really had no knowledge about Japan, so I kind of at a whim found myself on a plane, not speaking any language, going to Japan. And that's kind of where, I suppose you'd say, I kindled the love for woodblock. All this is fabulous. You know, with painting, obviously you can layer quite thick brush marks, but with print you'd have to kind of approach it differently, and how you would go about getting this texture on, you know, on a piece of paper is all part of the process. But yeah, it's a lovely kind of starting point for a print. I think that's a really key thing to take away, is when you're beginning a print or beginning a design, you know, just don't be too particular about what you're looking for. Just grab ideas, make notes and sketch. You've got traditional, like the ukiyo-e stuff of all the geishas and all the beautiful kind of scenes of that idyllic Japanese life. And then you've got a more kind of creative print movement, which happened a bit later. And that is more kind of focused on the artist doing the whole process, designing, carving and printing. All kind of art, I suppose, whether it's, you know, painting or sculpture, there's an element of kind of the quality of sound or movement. And like that idea of, like, you're not always trying to get to the final outcome or finish a print or finish a painting. And actually, the time in between that is so important. What's nice about this paper, it being different to, say, these papers, is it's a little bit thinner, the translucentness of the actual paper coming through, which I find, it, you know, enhances the print sometimes. And that's the element of surprise and kind of that organic kind of feeling you get from it. This piece, very loose, you know, quite spontaneous. I think that's, you know, for some artists it's difficult when they do find themselves in that rut of no ideas. I just think it's the best way to get out of it, is just to kind of almost make work unconsciously and something will come from it. Alfred Wallace, you know, he's not a printmaker, but he views things quite literally, so there's no perspective. I quite like that. What's nice is actually kind of old Japanese prints. Their approach to perspective is quite different from anything in the West. And actually, thinking about it now, Alfred Wallace's work, you know, it's quite kind of 2D in a sense. The way he represents boats and the harbour in St Ives is actually quite similar to, say, an old traditional ukiyo-e print. What's great about these is they store a lot of pigment, but they don't leak, so you can kind of transfer the pigment from the pot to the brush to the plate, and they don't kind of leak. It's all bamboo, it's all the fibres from the bamboo. So another kind of nice element. But modernism and the term sosaka hanga, which is sosaku means creative and hanga means print. So you have this movement probably like just before the war in Japan, but after, called sosaka hanga. And that was very similar to modernism in the UK, where you had this kind of need for like the artist to make kind of work that wasn't necessarily commercial, but very much exploring kind of probably themes about displacement because of the war, these things, and how to view things in a different way. I think, yeah, it's very much something that is still quite poignant today. In the music world, you say, I'll have a little tinkle on my guitar. You know, it's not about getting it perfect. It's just what you enjoy about what you see that you like in the actual work. Just work back into that. Get some texture.